Hi guys, so in this video I will show you examples on using abstract property, which is a little upgrade if you look from Java perspective, and also there are examples of using open modifier, which can be applied for both properties and methods. So we'll do some refactoring. So let's just take a look at our series fragment. So here we can see that this is kind of a common, and we'll have to repeat this code for every fragment. So maybe let's come here and let's just create BaseFragment. I know inheritance is not the best thing to do, but it will help us. And it's not a big code, to be honest. So let's just copy this. So let's use this as, so let's extract this. As a LayoutResourceId. And we can make it abstract. And let's do protected abstract with this property. Okay. So now in the series fragment, let's extend our base fragment. So we have layoutResourceId, and let's just do it like this. And we can remove this. Actually, we should make this final. So if somebody wants to override it, there will be a compilation problem. So yeah, this cleans a little bit, and if we want to add new fragments, which we will do in a second, then there is less code for us to write. So I have already prepared some layouts. So this is for one fragment, exercise break. So this is for the break fragment. It will look like this. And our break splash looks like this. Simple stuff. So let's just go to our fragment and let's create. So similarly, we're extending the base fragment, and we'll use exercise break, and maybe we can quickly copy. F5 is copy. So this is pretty much done. All we have to do now is on view created, we have to initialize the buttons and the texts. I already prepared this, but it's all in the strings. So if you check the comments, what? No, not this one. This one. Break splash series text, and also we want to do something on click. So on click, we want to show series fragment, because so when user clicks on the whole view, we want to show the series fragment. Okay, that's it, and similar stuff. So this is a little bit more complicated. Here we want to have a series number, start new series button. This is our counter, graphical counter, and a cancel button. So we need to do the initialization here. This one. And we have start new series button. And we have cancel button. So here we want to show series fragment, and here we want to increment the series number, and we want to show series fragment. Okay. So that's pretty much it. And we also want to do something with open. So there is a slight difference between Java and Kotlin in terms of the methods, because in Java every method is virtual, so like not final. Like you can override every method unless it's final, like here. But in Kotlin is the opposite. So if you don't declare explicitly that there is open, then you cannot override a method. So this is pretty small, and I have another idea. So let's maybe add a menu, because sometimes maybe if we have a fragment, we'll want to have a different menu for each fragment. So let's implement it here. So we can have this in a similar way, like an abstract value, menu resource, and then so onCreate option menu, inflater, inflate. We can take it from menu. Okay. So this should be okay. But we've created already all these fragments, and now we have to implement in all of them. We have to create menu resource, and we have to supply for all of them. And it's not good, because we're kind of breaking for one small change. We have to change all the fragments that are extending it, and in more complicated projects this can be a problem. So maybe better we can assign something here. Maybe let's make it nullable, and let's assign null. But it doesn't have to be abstract anymore. But let's say that we want to have a menu only here. So it will be menu. No. But as you can see, the menuResourceId is final. But it means that if you don't specify that it's open, then you cannot override it. So now you can override it, but before you cannot override it. So let's just clean this. Maybe let's menuResource different than null. And this we have to force cast to not null. And maybe we can has menu, but this could be done by lazy. So be like this, and we also have to view created. We have to do okay. So now we have everything. So you have to remember that any property on a method, if you create it without open, it cannot be overridden like here. It cannot be. You have to add the open. So that's pretty much it. Of course, let's go through all the changes. So we added the BaseFragment. Actually, in the break, this was just for the training purposes, but we don't really need it. So let's go. So nothing special here. So we just added the new fragments. We're not using them yet. We'll do in the next video. Okay, everything seems fine. So let's just go through the most complicated changes that we've made in this commit. So this may be a little bit complicated because sometimes we put open, sometimes we put final, so it may be confusing for new people. The reason is that this method, this is a Java class, fragment. So this method comes from Java. So by default, it's open, it's not final. But if you create a property or a method by yourself in Kotlin, then by default it's final. You don't have to declare final for it. You see? You don't have to declare it. But you have to declare it if you want to make it open. And for all the classes and all the code from Java, it works on Java rules. So that's why we have to explicitly say here for this method that we want to make it final. Because if we don't, this is an open method and you can override it anywhere you want it. Yeah, so that's it. Enjoy. If you have any questions or something is not clear, please put some comments.